Gemini, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late August 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Gemini collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. God, Spirit Team, talk to me. What do we got for these lovely Geminis? What energies, messages, insights can we pull for our good friends? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for the Gemini collective in late August. We are moving into the early part of Virgo season. Beautiful time of year. What's going on for my Geminis, please? What's going on? All right, the deck is being very specific here. And for those of you that are new, I only read jumpers. So I do my little shuffles until they pop out. Okay, we have our good friend Ariel showing up this week. I always like when she pays us a visit. Very imaginative, future-focused type of energy. There's a lot of real good vibes that come with this card. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the August subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more about this card. So I always call it the Little Mermaid. Obviously, it's just an oracle deck, and this isn't the specific story, but I feel like it fits all the themes and archetypes of the Little Mermaid. I'm sure we've all seen it about 25 to 100 times, right? So we see Ariel there. She's half in the water, half out of it. Her head is in the clouds, surrounded by all this beautiful aesthetics. Now, for a good portion of you, this could represent being in a place where, I mean, things are cool, but there's somewhere else I'd rather be. To me, when I see this card, I think of someone looking down the line. Now, a lot of days, sometimes we think on the past, we reflect on the past, sometimes we live in the present. A lot of times it's very important to look at what we have coming down the pipeline. And that even showed up last week's reading too, that like, hey, maybe you should start planning for something. But aside from that message, whenever I get the Little Mermaid, it's just super daydreamy and imaginative. So I wouldn't be surprised if you're in daydream fantasy land a little more than you normally are. This could be really good for any sort of creative pursuits or endeavors, whether it's just for artistic expression or even business. So there's a great creative mindset around the Gemini collective. So we're just going to put her down right there. She could keep singing and daydreaming. Let's get into tarot. And I always say the first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the beautiful Geminis, please. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. Now, I mentioned that there was something about strategy and planning in last week's reading, and that's why it was titled, They Are Planning. So whether it was you strategizing, planning something, or somebody else, it showed up in multiple parts of the reading, like the importance of strategy or that someone's about to put a plan into motion. So we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you. Because we could be seeing your vibe or someone that you're linked to. Let's get it going. 3 cards here for Gemini to start. What is happening? Quick, very quick. First shuffle, first card. 3 of Cups. That's a good way to start there, my friends. That is a very happy, joyous type of energy. So we'll see. Hopefully it holds up. So we'll get that 3 of Cups right there next to that beautiful amethyst crystal. Let's get a couple more. What do we have here for Gemini? Thank you. King of Wands, focus, direction, beautiful, fire sign energy. I do like it. Looking on as those other people celebrate. This could be good. Let's get one more. This could be real good, depending. Thank you. 7 of Cups, the menu board of life, that beautiful daydreamy type of energy I was just telling you about with Ariel is showing up here once again. Now, this could be really good for options and paths. So let's go through Gemini. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first glance, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Now, of course, a reading can always shift and change as we move through it. But elementally, we have a lot of water here on the extreme ends with the 3 of Cups, the 7 of Cups. Water is generally the realm of emotion, feeling, but it's also imaginative and daydreamy, similar to what we saw with Ariel. right here with this fire in the center, that's a complementary element to Gemini energy, so that could be really good as well. So I have high hopes with the energy this week, and even with what I'm feeling already, I'm feeling like, okay, this could be good. There's a cautious optimism here. So let's go through one by one and build this out. So position number one, we have the Three of Cups. Now, this card does get a bit of a reputation, rightfully so sometimes. Threes in tarot usually represent groups of people, not just singular, not just one-on-one connections, it's groups. So whether it's like family, co-workers, circle of friends, circle of acquaintance, whenever we get a three, we could be looking at someone else's energy, some sort of loose attachment. But the Three of Cups, you see those people, they're doing a cheers, they're having a good time, they're lifting up those cups, having a drink, they're having a blast. So whenever I see this card, I think of win-based energy, victorious-based type of energy, something paying off, a reason to celebrate, right? Because these people are having a blast. For a portion of you, if times have been a little strict or a little rough in recent times, maybe Spirit wants you to go out and have a good time. However that is to you, it doesn't mean you got to go out to a bar. I mean, if that's your definition of fun, go for it. Some of you might want to go on nature walks, just something to let loose of the energy. Now, all cards have a positive and a challenge. When we get to the challenge of the Three of Cups, it could speak about social challenges or challenges within your group of friends. Sometimes this could be a person that parties it up a little too much, is a little too overindulgent. So watch out for energies like this. Like someone having a good time, there might be others having too good of a time, if you know what I mean. But we're not going to stick to that message yet. Now, moving to the center, we have the King of Wands. Now, I like this. For a portion of you, this could be a fire sign that you are linked to. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And I always say kings represent control of the suit that they're in. When we look at wands, that's fire. Fire can be pretty unpredictable sometimes. I mean, in its rougher form, and we'll talk about that in a minute. The King of Wands is a card of passion. It's a card of action. It's a card of desire. So when I see this, it's somebody directing their passions in the proper place. Are you focused on the right things? Are you wasting your energy on others? That's what this card tells us. And yes, in its challenge, it can be a hothead. This could be someone that's like a little too serious or like has a bit of a temper, or it's unpredictable. Like I said, like someone has a hard time controlling themselves, hard time controlling their impulses. So we'll want to look at this further. And again, it could just be as simple as a person that you're connected to when we have that fire sign energy. Now, when we get to the back end, and we'll get this King of Wands right here next to the party, they're all living it up. They're all having a good time there. We have the Seven of Cups, and I always say it looks like somebody's choosing from the menu board of life. This is a huge card of manifesting. Now, manifesting isn't just daydreaming about something. It's not just visualizing something. It does take purposeful action. Sometimes it does take planning too, to meet the universe halfway, to bring something in. But when I see this card, I think of someone that has a lot of paths, even if it seems like there's not. There's a lot of paths to success. There's a lot of ways something could go. Sometimes this card shows up when somebody's deciding on something, making a decision process, or when things might just be a little up in the air. Again, this is also very daydreamy. So when this card shows up, you might be lost in thought, you might be daydreaming, fantasizing, all that good stuff. The Seven of Cups is super creative. So that message I was given with Ariel earlier on, that's double, that's triple now that we have the Seven of Cups. But we could just be seeing someone's thought process. So I want to dive deeper on all of it, Gemini. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. Let's see what we got for my good friends. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Three of Cups. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Gemini, you could drop it right in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Three of Cups time. Why is it here? Why is that three? Five of Wands. Okay. All right, this is very extreme, this energy I'm picking up here. Now, for a lot of you, there's going to be a couple different messages here, so just take whichever one applies to you. We have the Five of Wands underneath the Five of Cups. First and foremost, watch out for any group drama. Okay, so whether that is like a friend group or people that you are connected to not getting along together, it could even be coworkers. So any sort of group drama, if you can, possibly take a step back and don't get sucked into that. For another portion of you, this could easily swing the complete other way and being something that pays off for you, like a hard-fought battle or something you've been fighting for, something you've been wanting where it hasn't been easy to get there, but you finally crossed the finish line. So this could be an amazing type of energy right here on the front end. And we'll see how it plays out as we go throughout the rest of the reading. But the Five of Wands, you see these people are beating each other up with sticks. Okay, so, and it also felt very extreme where there might be certain dynamics in your life where, like, when it's good, it's great. When it's bad, it's bad. So I would say in this time, watch out for big extremes like that, whether it's like people, whether it's situations. There is a little bit of a warning about like trying to walk the middle path of like not too far extreme this way, not too far extreme that way. It's all about balance. Think Libra energy here when we see this type of vibe. So yeah, that's like 3 or 4 different messages right there on the front end. And we'll talk about it more during the recap. And for some of you, there could be something that pays off for you in a very, very big way. Hard fought battle, hard fought win. And it's like, finally, I worked for it, now I got it. So that could be really nice. But stay out of other people's stuff. Let's keep moving forward. Let's see what that King of Wands has to say. That was way more complex than I thought it would be. But for a portion of you, something could pay off in a very, very big way, massive way. So why is that King of Wands here for Gemini? Why is that King of Wands here? Yep, beautiful, full steam ahead, big action, explosive, fiery action too. So if there's something like you've been waiting on, holding out on, or something that's been delayed, this could easily be either someone making big moves where it's like, okay, time for waiting is over, now I'm going to do this. Either it's explosive action or an explosive breakthrough, which could be good. And I feel like it could be one or the other, even both for some of you. Okay, especially with this payoff energy here in the front end. So let's talk about it. In the clarifications already, both of these cards can represent determination, somebody that doesn't quit, somebody that keeps moving, keeps going. So there might be something that Spirit's like, all right, well, don't give up on that, Gemini. Don't give up on that quite yet. Keep fighting for it. Chariot, Cancer. All right, that's the Cancerian collective when it's here. And it could also be combative. That's the thing. I mean, Chariot is an instrument of war, but it's also one of the fastest moving cards, most powerful cards in the whole entire deck. So when I see it underneath the King of Wands, it's about focusing your energy on the right thing and making that purposeful action towards what you want. So those are the 2 main messages I'm picking up there. Either someone's about to make a power move, like a big power play power move, or this could be something breaking through for you, which makes sense with this payoff energy that we have here on the front. When you mix the fire with the Chariot, this is almost unstoppable. Okay, so I like it. I feel like it's good. If I had major Gemini placements, I would claim this myself. So let's keep moving forward. Just know if you are connected to a fire sign, they might be a little extra aggressive in this time. And not always a bad thing. Let's keep moving over to the 7 of Cups. Let's see what that 7 of Cups has to say. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow cards. So far, this is a nice energy shift from what I've been seeing for you for a few weeks now. So let's talk about this 7 of Cups. Why is it here for the beautiful Geminis? Thank you. 7 of Pentacles. Yep, double 7s right here on the back end. So now we have the repeating numbers, the signs, synchronicities. For a lot of you, that could be ramping up in this time, like seeing the repeating numbers, getting signs from Spirit. So if you do feel like something's about to break through from you, it's like Spirit giving you little signals like, hey, it's coming, Gemini. Don't you worry, it's coming. The 7 of Pentacles is a karmic energy, but it's also somebody being patient. So for a lot of you, your patience is going to pay off in a very big way. I just like it because to me, the energy I'm picking up off this spread as a whole is very rewarding for one reason or another. Now, if you're going through some tough things, that might be frustrating to hear. Like, rewarding? What the hell are you talking about, rewarding? But I feel at the end of the day, something's going to probably swing in your favor here. Now, the 7 of Cups, aside from the karmic energy, you see that person, it is also about reaping what you sow. So for a lot of you, I don't know why this message is coming through. Make sure you're keeping yourself energetically protected in this time. That's just like a random one-off message that's showing up. But when I see the 7 of Pentacles with the 7 of Cups, the purposeful action is showing up here for a reason, because we have this one in the, and it's the extremes, right? Ever since we saw it in the beginning, This back end energy, the Seven of Cups with the Seven of Pentacles, it's not really moving. There's a lot of mental action. There's a lot of mental thought. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it a lot. But what's happening in the material realm? What's happening in the realm of action? So this could be a little nudge from Spirit telling you, like, Gemini, if you're only thinking about it, if you're just thinking about it, nothing's going to happen. You need both. You need action and thought. You need planning and moves. So it's like a little mixture we have going here, but there could be really good results coming in. Okay, with that payoff energy I was picking up. So let's go through and do a quick recap, and we'll get into the shadow card. I feel for most Geminis, this is probably a really good energy. I guess it depends on where you're at in this whole entire spectrum. If you're over here, you might be wanting to slide your energy here, but they're very extreme. It's either full go or full stop. Same here in the front. But if you kindly look in the box, position number one, we have the Three of Cups, happy, celebrating with the Five of Wands. I said for a lot of you, something could pay off for you. It's like a hard-fought victory, massive payoff, and I really do like it. I'm also getting the extremes of energy, where it's like, all right, or it's really, really rough, or it's really, really good. It's about bringing it to that middle ground, that place of balance. I don't know why that's showing up here, but it is. And watch out for other people's drama. Don't get involved. Don't get sucked in. Moving to the center. This is where we get the extremes again. We have the King of Wands with the Chariot. Full go, full blast, explosive action. It's either full go or full stop. I mean, for a lot of you, either this is someone about to make a big power move, explosive action, or something can really break through for you in a powerful way, which is really nice. On to the back end, we have the Seven of Cups with the Seven of Pentacles. As I mentioned, it's someone doing more thinking than acting. So, I mean, there are things you could bring into your space. There's things you could bring into your reality. But if you're just thinking, you need to pair some action in with that. I don't know for whatever situation you're dealing with, but it's just showing up here, finding that middle ground. So yeah, please take a screenshot of that if you'd like. Let's see what's in the shadows for you, my friends. So, good shuffle here for the lovely Geminis. What's happening? What do we have in the shadows for my friends? And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see if something's in the shadows or if there's something you might want to lean into. It's not always a bad thing, right? Sometimes good things are in the shadows. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, shadow card time. What's happening? All right, thank you. All right, Six of Swords, making moves, taking action, very similar to what we were picking up here in the center, is also showing up in the shadows. Now, the Six of Cards, I like this as a shadow card because to me, this is an energy of improvement, things getting better, coming out of the choppy waters into the calm. So for a lot of you, whether this is improvements coming down the pipeline that haven't materialized yet, it is showing up here. Even if like your eyes haven't really laid on it. Yeah, this is a really nice energy. Now, the only reason this would be a rough thing within the shadows is if there is something that happens that triggers abandonment issues in this time. That's like the only rough aspect of this card, because sometimes it does represent somebody that's giving up on something or walking away from something. So with the urges that I was seeing within the reading itself, Spirit could be telling you not to give up on something and not to abandon something in this time. Either that or you might be experiencing abandonment issues with this. But to me, either way, it's a card of things improving, moving forward, and getting better. So I really like your reading this week, Gemini. So let's put that down right there. And yeah, that's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the August subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out my digital calendar at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. And for the July subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced after this week's fire and air readings. But for the August subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of the beautiful Gilded Tarot Royale, one of my favorite decks ever. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, if you could time travel, would you rather go into the past to meet your ancestors, or would you rather go into the future to meet your descendants? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.